person called Clarence.
This is sorry. Clarence is coming, huh?
Clarence is there.
Yeah, but he said he would be here today, no?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So how is the team divided into subscale teams? SRE is one.
There's a 3 groups we split it actually.
Okay.
One is Chennai Web Engineering. This is for
Okay.
frontend React, mostly what we are using it. Right?
Oh, okay.
So that's for frontend.
No, that is from a Fibonacci or an external group point of view.
Hello.
Actually, everyone belongs to e-commerce.
Yeah,
actually.
in e-commerce.
In e-commerce, actually, we splitted this group. Right?
Oh.
One is actually we split it into as a frontend.
Okay.
Another one we took it as a Chennai platform.
Hello, testing mic audio.
That is for exception of the DevOps and all.
Okay.
Another one belongs to SRE, Site Reliability Engineering. That is led by Clarence.
Okay.
The platform team, Bala and I am part of that.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Chennai Engineering, May is leading. This is what 3 groups because we need a brand plus people
People to come here.
here, right? So that's what we want to do. When we have a 15 questions
Testing.
and we have open. We are not able to.
Testing second time. Is it coming, sir?
So this is maybe we are trying out.
Delay will happen later.
Some people are.
But it is coming, right? This is directly going there.
More
Correct?
as a
College.
no, more as a tech discussion. We wouldn't bring the hiring specifically into it.
It's not hiring specific. I agree.
No.
That's what we want to.
But
We
now
want.
we have like for
This is coming
I've added
direct audio,
a
huh?
slide
Okay.
at the end
Correct.
to display when
That's
so
correct.
that has a form. Which
Delay.
is, if you are interested in a role at Ford,
Definitely.
you know.
We will do. Right. That's what.
I've shared already. I think
May told.
has added it.
Rishabh added.
Yeah.
I think May also. Just while
Only
we are
I need to
coming out, I think
focus
somebody told us.
the
actually.
presenter,
One more.
right?
HR person.
Yes.
He told us
Okay.
actually.
Last time you guys did on call switching and all, right?
Sunil.
Yes, I
Sunil
can
told us
switch
actually.
that.
Where you will be doing the event? There only, yeah. Based on that, you can switch.
At the end,
Okay.
after
Okay.
everything is done, no, then when people like we'll start paying. So that
Check.
time you can just keep. If anyone is interested, I put
This
3
is coming,
QR
right?
codes.
Okay.
One for
Which
this,
camera?
if anyone is interested. One is the
It is live stream.
QR code for Chennai Web Engineers.
Correct.
And one for FBS India Limited.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, we'll do it. Definitely, that's what we also wanted actually. Right? So we are struggling to get the big positions now. So it will be helpful.
My camera. Okay. This one. Huh?
You should off
We
your
are also
camera.
on LinkedIn also we are trying to
It's off only.
These chairs are only visible. Huh? What is this
like,
here?
so far whatever we've been doing is all organic. Some of the posts we want to boost it.
Which view it is?
So in that case right now we have some 39K followers. We want to reach people beyond 39 but targeted at the same time. So boosting allows us
It's your phone camera, I
to
think.
say that okay
Phone
this
camera.
post show it
It's
to
showing
people
your
who are
face
interested
only.
in
now
front-end.
Okay,
Show
leave.
it to people who are interested in front end. So people who are engaging
Hello?
with front end post in
So we
LinkedIn
need to
otherwise.
specifically mention that hashtags actually React.
Okay.
Okay, so the front end engineering plus React we need to mention.
Okay.
So the wordings and all maybe you can tell us. Talk to May or
Post, yeah.
Sure.
For each post for we are starting it out and we want to start it out with hiring because that's the need of the time. There will be larger branding videos or just to inform people which will be doing the types of work started hiring. Then people will be understand those basically. I was from 2020, but I worked for initially Cognizant for 3 years and then I moved away and then joined the 2015 as a code engineer. I'm a land person. But I moved to Hemant's team, Hemant and Mittu e-commerce. I moved 3 years before. From that moment I... You live here only or you
Yeah,
are
I'm in Chennai. I'm not in...
You have 2 teams in Bangalore.
Now recently opened.
Yeah.
From the start, the e-commerce platform came in my right?
Yeah.
In that moment, I was at.
Yeah.
So I was part of the payment application.
Okay.
So we given the credit actually,
Okay.
and then I was getting to this one.
Okay.
Then now currently I'm managing ING platform.
Oh, okay.
So all the e-commerce platforms. For IMG. So for specifically for IMG, I am doing it. But Mati from North America on global team.
If let's say I'm cancelling this meeting, okay.
Eventually I will
So
get
if I'm
that's what we are.
come man.
Is it
So if I'm hosting from that IP address,
sales or is it the
will I get access like as a hardware extra or how it will show?
This platform. Nucleus is
See.
actually horizontal. If you consider, right? So what it will do? See, we have some pricing system. We have some
Like when I'm adding something no, like camera. So camera I added this source. Okay. For a screen I added this.
Okay.
Will I get another source option?
No, you cannot take control of that cameras.
If you go to our code,
You can control your camera only. No?
you can choose
Your camera is not recorded.
anything you do, correct? This is
Your laptop camera is not
that
recorded.
is
No?
actually we need to get the price.
Only you need this one view.
Multiple systems will be correct. We cannot do everyone in the front end if they are having the website will not be correct. So we do the platform. Come here, sit. Go ahead. So we build a platform.
You don't have any presentation?
And we will available.
It's there, they'll bring.
If anyone requesting, immediately we will do. So this is the platform. We created
Hey, DSLR may brought.
that they will pull one strip.
I don't know, he was.
And
Okay, let
now
me
we are front end, correct? Back end we established. Now we want to do front end. This year we want to do also front end. So the front end we need to connect from the front end. We are taking. On top of that, the front ends will be. For each and for example, North America, we are how we are trying to we are analyzing the configuration as a globe. So one it will be used for not Europe, IMG and IMG we have 5 markets. Today we use it. This is one part. Another part is inventory. For example, we produce today. We want to sell it. All the details, everything will be there. So we will just display it as a hard card kind of thing. We click it, go and buy. In North America, people can buy a website. But in IMG, it's just a reservation.
So the Nucleus is not limited to
Bro, try this link I'm sharing, okay?
the platform that
Right,
goes
see,
inside.
first we built it for Nucleus for vehicle buying and reservation. And then we added non-vehicle commerce. That is mean
Giri, right?
we fully bring it into Nucleus. And then now we are getting into another one. Parts.
I just
Slowly
streaming
this
YouTube
platform,
checks,
see,
no?
previously what happened, vehicle commerce, they used to streaming links as a
Shared.
millions of money.
You can open mobile also anywhere.
And then for non-vehicle commerce factories, they use vehicle commerce. That is another one. Okay? And then parts they are having another. So scattered, everybody is
Next
having
event,
their own
yearly,
technology.
1 year I think.
Now we are
Okay,
making
login.
uniform systems. We are
I
building
think August.
the uniform on this. That's what it is.
Actually, for speaking about some
I don't know,
projects with
forgot,
media and all, usually what happens is when usually around that time that we reach out and ask
Oh, you
what
come by
projects can we talk about.
cycling, running, huh?
Because we want to talk about
it will directly
being done
Reader.
taking space for
in India. So we usually collate at that time and then Mike takes a look and then Mike decides, okay, maybe
You
I'll
didn't
talk
come
about
message,
this.
huh? I shared.
This one maybe
just opening, right?
some scripts in Mike, but Mike actually came and talked like Mike came and was working in his opinions and oh, okay, Mike brings in actually
Giri, run. Did I share? Open this link, no? Let's see
And then
what
he
it is.
built the team.
I think definitely we should, I mean this is the one, we've been talking about it, but we've been talking about it at a little bit of a high level.
High level.
So in the media, we do two kinds of interaction. Usually when Mike comes, it is what we call sound window. Correct. Basically, it is editorial. There's no payment, there's no control. We need a judge.
Santosh.
We will tell them.
Santosh, is that mic is on?
These are the 5 things that we do. Out of that, the journalists will decide,
it's off,
okay,
but-
5 years out of this.
Somewhere you will I think.
No, no, it's off.
Or they will cover it at a very
That's what I'm thinking from where it is now.
we don't have any control. We can't say they will say that this we want you to do.
Off only, right?
Correct.
Up to them how they do it.
Correct.
Hello.
They're not getting ad revenue on it. So naturally, everyone is shifting to more paid branded content. So we are doing a little bit of that, but there we have more control.
What
It
we
is more
want
like
to
a production house.
correct.
They are more like a production house.
So the last time I think they came with the video, each and every engineer's experience, and then they took a video and then
But one of them with May and from using.
Only this camera, right? My
Even in engineering. Even from using. So I think that is one more. So those kind of with them we will have more detail. So we say this and say it in this way only. We can say okay this video this person accidentally said this point. Cut it. We have complete control over that. Correct. So some of those even if when we collect from mic and if mic doesn't choose it or if journalist doesn't say
okay. Is it going from here? Okay.
we do
See, now I did. Okay. Hmm.
Hello,
Testing audio 1 2 3. So now you check this. Now I did. Okay. Hello, testing audio 1 2 3. Basically, when they will use this mic, it will go there, and from there it will go to the this, and it will project. Last time they did, man, JS lovers and all. There is a OBS software. Okay. For now, let me mute it.
Our town halls and
Now check.
It was good, very informative. Yes, absolutely. So I'm just getting started with Next.js, so I did get a lot of insights here, and I look forward to see how I can take it further. Yeah. Then, yes, absolutely. So I'm just getting started with Next.js, so I did get a lot of insights here, and I look forward to see how I can take it further. Then,
So here I need to share, no?
This camera view, and you have to share presentation means you should be interchanging. That QR code you refer. Then you can change your website.
Okay. Whatever I will share, it will come
It
there
will
and
come
it all
there.
everywhere.
Ah, if you need, I can change this screen also.
You please.
Yes, I can switch.
How I'll call you there?
Huh?
Give your mobile number.
9962.
Whatever I will share, it will come there and all everywhere. You please. How I'll call you?
வேறு எதுவும் மைக் இருக்கா?
Give your mobile. Now audio will come. Industry. What is Gayatri? She's sharing, but I'm projecting her content on my screen.
One more thing, could you able to screenshot from this?
No. That's what. Where are we living from my screen only? Okay, so it will record like this in the YouTube. Okay, you're gonna use this mic, right?
Yeah, I'll be comfortable in that way.
You'll be the first one, right? This whatever is coming. Oh, we can do this. No, but the PPT should be here. This will be here. You reversed it.
Just for a second, it's fine.
Where is that girl, man?
He wants to zoom in.
Huh?
Who guys?
Huh?
She's also presenting today.
She is the main anchor, man. Nobody is seamless. People are here and here. No, but the PPT should be shift it here. We cannot put here this one. For hide participant.
We can.
Layout will be there somewhere, no? Focus on content. The video went no. Later we untick that focus on content, I guess.
One second, just give it high.
Hey bro, this is you can test it. Switch on and tap. Where is Gayatri, man?
On the other way around.
Yes.
This will be good.
You need to use this one.
Which one? Yours,
This laptop. And or you better connect this one. This is a Meet. I'm sharing you the Meet link.
So,
Join.
okay. How about that agenda slide, welcome slide, and all? Let's skip or
Here.
leave?
That's all. Okay. I'll join this. Okay.
Wait. After I call out mail, and I will have to handle this screen. Right? We are trying to get caught, I have to get caught by all the people.
that introduction you sorry.
Where is Gayatri?
She's here.
I know, I'm searching for it.
No, ma'am.
What I'm going to present is why should I?
Oh, you don't need to present anything, huh?
No.
Then who's gonna need to present? PP and hey.
Agenda only I have. You want
PP
me
and
to present
laptop
that?
is here. You want me to open? Hey, Anna.
No, no. See, I will not be anything with your laptop.
Not now. No. Sudhar.
Disconnected.
Hey, PP Anna, join. Join, okay. Put your laptop on charge.
Bro, I will maybe. Give me the URL. Welcome slide and agenda slide alone, bro. That's what I have.
Okay, I'm inviting you. If you want to share, you can share. Whoever gonna share in this meet, their screen gonna project. As simple as that.
Okay. Then why my laptop also?
If you want to share anything, right?
What I wanted to share, only agenda and welcome slide. You wanted me to share? Okay, I'll share.
Take the call, right?
Okay, whose laptop is
You're
this?
sharing this.
No, not yet.
When the Slido will come, you use the mic they will use and you can share. Share the screen, no?
ஒவ்வொரு கொஸ்டின் 20 செகண்ட் தான
Whose laptop is this? I will share the
20 seconds. 20 seconds, ஓகேங்களா?
agenda slide maybe.
15 கொஸ்டின் மொத்தத்துமே
You said only from this we can connect.
15 questions.
No.
ரேண்டம்
Teams meeting itself.
வாட்டப்ப ரேண்டம்
Just mute, okay? I'm on GM25, right?
என்ன ஓபன் பண்றீங்க
Yeah, GM25.
நீங்க க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுங்க
You shared me the link already. I can't find it.
Okay. Fine.
ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுங்க ஸ்டாப் சார்
Stop sharing here. இவன் தான் ஷேர் பண்ண சொன்னான். வெயிட் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஜி இங்கே பாருங்கள், ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் போயிடுங்க. ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் கிளிக் பண்ணதும் நான் தான் பண்ணுறேன். ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் கிளிக் பண்ணதும்
Just share, no?
Yes, that's all.
Share. This you share.
தூக்கி எடுங்க. அதில் கிளியர்
First
பண்ணி
share your screen and present that. Now your content should go there.
இது யாருங்க
Hit this one.
போட்டு வச்சுட்டான்.
Sir, morning.
I can do clear this. You want, you can send it. Remove chat history. What is this? Code Fibonacci certification.
நம்ம அது
இல்லை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடுறது.
Anna, you're ready, right?
So
you share, buddy. Mic எடுத்துக்கோங்க.
ஓகே படி ஸ்டார்ட் டூயிங் வெரி
First right.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வாட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்பீக்கிங் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஷீ
Introduce May, then photos one.
ஓகே
Then first this lady will go. Then your
ஜி இங்கே பாருங்கள், இந்த ஸ்லைடோ இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்க்ரீன் வரும். ஓகே.
Anna, in Slido, did you put the QR code? Feedbacks. Who will put?
Feedbacks only you told that is not record, no? Feedback that smiley, that one only.
QR code we need to put, right? Put no there.
Oh, that feedback. The QR code I don't have.
Take from Rishabh, no? Put on, put.
Which QR code?
Go to
That
the
with that
feedbacks.
logo only, no?
Feedbacks.
LinkedIn.
People, LinkedIn one.
Ask him to send in Teams.
விஷயம் தெரியுமா இன்னைக்கு வந்து இங்கேயும் நடக்கணும் ஜேஎஸ் லவர்ஸ்
Feedback, right? Here. Delete this.
He shared with you, check. Just put it in that one.
Only one,
Wait. That last one, that YouTube one, you delete. Yeah. I'll invite you directly.
This is LinkedIn only, right? Santosh, this is LinkedIn, right?
double T 5. It will come first one. I am the only one with this.
See, basically, when you will share, your screen will come here. And there.
I can start from here and leave, or should I get on the stage?
You need to start from there.
From there on the stage.
Start.
Hey, here.
Who's Saifullah? So first quiz will be done by Saifullah, right? After
That photo quiz choice question.
photo quiz. Okay. Okay, after May's intro, first I will be calling you.
Okay.
You have deleted that YouTube.
Explained by you, right? Okay.
Your voice is coming to the YouTube direct. Like this is on.
Hey, what is this? Here to topics that you want
somewhere
to.
else. It is connected. Audio is coming in the YouTube.
Behind the headset. What is this one?
Come. This one.
Hey, you have only one port manual. You want to slow down? You want to change the
Hey, Giri. को हाइड कैसे करें?
Want to hide this?
What? I want to put this spotlight, no? Just here.
Just click this.
I want content here, but only one to come. This not to come. Any idea?
No.
All will come like that. Yeah.
Wait, I will try to do something. Same. No. I got it.
Okay, let it be. That is coming now. So can we make it full screen one anyhow? Somewhere?
So click the three dots. And on a view, go to the view. Focus on content. So let's go for the content.
This also should come, no?
Okay, if you then we can't. Wait.
Oh, this we can put 4 people or 11.
Only the 4 people. Every 4 people we are seeing, right?
Where is the full screen?
You are already in the full screen. Yeah.
Leave, man. If something happens, then more issue. What you told
Without pointing or
Hi all, hi team. Hello everyone, very good morning. And I'm Gayatri, going to be the host for the day. And before that, I'm welcoming all the curious minds of the technical community here to our event Chennai Web Engineering with Fort Binoki. And before getting into the event, I'd like to just go through the agenda. Okay, first will be an icebreaker session just to cool down the temperature. And the next one would be the first presenter from Sudha. That will be on how modern CSS is transforming responsive design, leading way to adaptive interfaces. And the next one, the next on the agenda is the icebreaker session and another icebreaker session. And the last but not the least presentation from Rishabh on how to make multi-level design system library. On the last one will be the feedback session. You can post your feedback, suggestions, queries there. And the last one, we're ending with the group photo and a networking mention. So that's the short agenda we have today. Okay, before beginning into the event, now I'd like to call our driving force behind this entire event, May. He's been acting as a senior technical architect with 20 plus years of experience in system design and architecture across e-commerce platforms. May, over to you, please.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. So welcome you to this Chennai Web Engineering event. This is the second event for this year. Thank you all for taking your time on Saturday. So it all started in 1989. If you remember, or if you have read the history, right? Tim Berners-Lee, who is the inventor of web, which we use now, right? So it all started in 1989, and predominantly for sharing information between the scientists. This is how it started. But in 1989, we never know. In 2025, we will be using web like anything. So day in and day out, web and mobile are part of our day-to-day life. Right? So that's how we are using it. And in 1989, when they started it, it is called as Web-1. It is predominantly to just view the information. Very small upload of information that happens with Web1. So I don't know how many of you used the emails at that point in time, the AOL, Yahoo. So you can just send emails and you can view information. That's all Web 1.0 is about, right? So, and there are hardly about 250k sites. And then the .com bubble came in, and then eventually we were evolved into Web 2.0, which is what predominantly we are using now. The Facebooks, the Airbnbs, Ubers. So it all are part of Web 2.0, wherein the information sharing was bidirectional, wherein you can see the information as well as you can push the information to web. And it is, as I said, it is part of our day-to-day life. So be it searching for a product, or be it booking a cab, or be it looking for some product information. So I think it is part of our life. And in the middle of 2020, right, or in middle of 2020 decade, when mobile was rapidly evolving, one of my friend was asking me, so bro, now mobile is coming very fast, and everyone are using mobile now. So now it is going to be the day when web is coming to a closure, or web completely will fade away. And we discussed, so it is not going to go away. The reason is, so you can have mobile app, so it is going to give you all the personalized content and notification, but web has its own purpose. There is anything that you search. So if you are running an organization, if you have products, or if you have a product information, service information, so it is all indexed in the search engines, and whatever information that you look, you will get it only from web. So anytime soon web is not going to go away, so it is going to stick with us forever. And with that, I think we are evolving into Web 3.0, which is like decentralized app, universal apps, all your blockchain, Bitcoins, everything runs on Web 3, right? It is still evolving. So with all this, right, like what do we have in future? Now we are in a matured state. Maybe we think we are in a matured state. The e-commerce companies, portals, web portals. So, are we in a mature state? So what is there in future for us? Right? So it is not going to stop here with AI and LLM getting evolved, right? So day in and day out, AI and LLM is going to transform the way how we develop the website and how we are going to improve the consumer experience through the websites. And it is not just AI and LLM. There are cool technologies like WebAssemblies, which is going to bring in all the power that is needed to run the gamings or the heavy CPU and memory intensive operations to your browser. So there is a line of tech that is upcoming, and we all need to stay updated. And MEETUP is one kind of a forum where we can come learn together, share our experiences. With that, I'll stop here, and I'll welcome you all once again, and I'll hand it over to Guy. Thank you.
To start the event with a fun session, I would like to call Saifullah to the stage to conduct a quiz.
Hello everyone. So we have a very small icebreaker session, and I hope it will be very fun filled. So there will be a QR code. You just need to scan and sign up. You just give the basic details like your name, and then we will get few images. Just guess what it could be. Okay, ready for the fun?
Yeah. So basically, whatever the terminologies you wanna guess, and the answer, it will revolve around the whatever our like front end and web engineering, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, XJS, with this only. Okay. And one more thing, the winner. So basically, what will happen? Once you're gonna join this, there will be a text window for each of the question, and relevant images gonna appear, and you need to type the relevant word, and the one who will be typing the very first, he or she gonna be the winner, and they'll be getting one chocolate. Okay, one chocolate per question.
So done.
So the guys here, you can use from here, the slider.
Just make this full screen. He will share, maybe questions will come after 10 seconds.
So only this one, huh?
Shall we start? Sign out, everyone. Start the first. Guess the terminology, what it could be.
Participants, is it? Everyone joined? Okay, yeah. One second, we'll give some more time. Able to join, guys, right? Any issues? No, right? Okay. Well, let's start.
Give your name as well.
Okay. Anonymous knows that how I'm gonna distribute the chocolate, so. Firebase would have been the correct answer, then we would have stopped. So definitely it's not the correct answer. Lord engineering, nuclear bomb construction. What is jewelry? Okay, so basically you need to search, tell the word which is, there is a technology in JavaScript and web engineering term. Okay, so I think CI/CD breakdown. Okay, nice guess. Cloud engineering. Okay. Nobody is near to that. Okay, so I think I'll have to eat that chocolate. Nobody deserve, I guess. Let me see.
Somebody's taken.
Okay, so Saifullah, please read it.
Or else can we give it to the person who is almost near?
Yeah, there. First tell the answer, then let audience decide who is near. So that.
Destructuring.
So it's destructuring, right? We have object destructuring, array destructuring. So D, destroy, structuring.
Reconstruction, that's it. Yes.
Good one,
Okay.
Good
Will,
one. You want to take your chocolate, huh?
okay. We'll move to the next question.
Three words. I mean, a single word, you can divide it.
Desperately want to get married. Looks like somebody desperately wants
Nobody's
to get
giving answer. Please type.
I think the folks who will be there on the verge of getting married, they're gonna win, I guess. Component did mount. Okay, that is mountain. But after that, which these are the components. Okay. Okay. Nice try. Others are not even trying, huh? Ice breaking. Ice is there, but it's not breaking.
They're all married now. They stop thinking.
Okay. Throttling. So, how throttling? Like you guys are able to see the throats of these four people, is it? Something like that, you guess? Mount server connection. Mount resort. Is it terminology? Mount resort in JavaScript web engineering?
Maybe recently.
Cloud storage. Okay, cloud is fine, but where is the storage? DAC. Okay. So
Something.
shall I give one hint?
Something
Yeah,
related to
hint.
unite and
Syntax, okay.
second
Okay,
is.
it is related to like one of the famous interview questions you can encounter in React and JavaScript.
Related to functions.
So let me see. Okay, it's a three images, 3 words. Okay, and after this,
Related to functions.
you need to think higher. Okay, then only you're gonna get it. Let's see whose thoughts gonna reach that height. Nobody thinks higher.
Saturday, no one thinks.
Higher order function. Yeah, that is higher. They are giving order, and this is a function. So, who is the first one? Can you MSD, right? Higher order function will get, not the component. Guys, these two are not component. Okay. So, MSD means, is it Mahin Singh Dhoni something? Oh, Madhusudan. Sorry, man. Guys, give the chocolates now.
Man. Here it is, enjoy.
Oh, HOF. Oh, there is one more, huh? Okay, give a chocolate to Raja also, no HOF. Last round, nobody took the chocolate, okay. So that's what I was telling, right now, you need to think high. At least I told the first word, higher. But nobody guessed it.
I gave function also.
Okay, Pashupati, let's move to the next slide now.
I think this is easy.
NPM? What is that NPM? Node package manager, is it? Okay, node package manager. That's right. Debouncing. Okay, the ball gonna bounce, debounce. But what about the last one and the first one?
Guys, only two participants.
Try, throw, catch. So how try, throw, catch is related to that truck? I'm thinking that. Okay, with second one, there is a relating cricket she is playing. So try, throw, catch. But it's not relating with the first and the last one. Data pipeline. Okay, where is the pipe?
Something related to performance overload and then some performance engineering results, something like
Sir, if you are okay with half chocolate, I can give you. But I wish you could get a full chocolate.
that. Overload.
Performance overload.
Function.
Oh, you typed, huh? Someone talk. It's function overloading. Can we check? There are 3, right? Who is the first one?
click that function overload. Click that 4.
4 it will show, right?
Ayush Bhargava.
Ayush Bhargav. Okay, so function overload, you are able to get it, right? Okay. So please give him a chocolate now. Guys, let's clap for this guy now. Where is Ayush? Next question. We'll do first.
I think this is very easy.
This is very easy one. Kevin. Oh wait, no. Let them type. Let me see. Okay. What if I say Figma is the wrong answer? Okay guys, Figma is not the answer. I don't know what it is. Okay, Figma is the right answer. Let's see who is the first one. I wanted to see some other tracks, but nobody tried. Praveen. This is your favorite fruit, right? He deserves a chocolate, yeah. Guys, let's clap for this guy, no? At least he managed to answer the very first. Okay, so this one we gave little easy. Actually, I was not aware of that fruit. That's why I kept it. They were warning me that everybody can answer, but no worries. Next question. Yeah. Guys, let's not say, let's type. TypeScript. Stack overload. Stack overflow. TypeScript. Data type. Okay, someone is 95% correct, but still I am searching for that 5% window. Let me see. Okay, it's related to HTML. The very first thing in HTML. Okay, so doc type is the correct one, but since I already entered this and I told 95% someone was correct, and now only I got to know that file type is also correct, and file type is a terminology in web engineering, right? So sorry, doc type, we'll go with the file type. Can we go down? Search the file type. There was a guy. Yeah, anonymous, right? Okay. Any other file types? Is it the first one? No, Nanda Kumar, right? He's also file type. Can we see below? Okay, that Nanda Kumar will deserve this. Okay, can we give him Nanda Kumar? Where is? Yeah. Let's clap, guys. Let's clap for the doc type one as well. We are doing first come, first serve. So, okay, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, this is, I don't know, first time when I saw, I was also able to, yeah, but it's a relevant, very simple word. No, we should not say. Let guys type, no? CORS. What is cross mark in React? Oh, it's an icon, we can say. Okay, let's see. People are typing cross-site scripting. Let them type. Let's see. Cross-site scripting. Node. How it is Node? Okay. Alert. Okay. Okay. Somewhat close. Okay.
Two more are pending. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, so the answer is error boundary only. So let's see. Giri, right? Giri, right? Let's give this guy, no? Chocolate, no? Yeah. Okay, next slide. Pashupati, please. We'll grab it fast. How many are left now? Oh, 4 are there, no? We'll do it fast. Okay, this one. Let's not speak, guys, okay? Why you want to lose the chance of getting a yummy chocolate, right? Set time out. Okay. Anything else? Nobody want to try anything else? Okay, 3 people are typing. See, if you are going to type set time out only, then anyways, if that is the correct, then first one will get right. So, okay, time out. Okay, I think I gave a little easy one.
Let's see who answered it first. Kausalya.
Yeah, Kaushalya. Let's clap for her and let's give her a chocolate now. Pashupati, let's go to next slide. Okay. Something related to code.
Nothing related to code.
It's written code, that's what I'm telling you. Pen drop. What is pen drop?
New technology.
Is it? Pin drop, I know. Deepen bro. We'll connect separately after this. What is pen drop? I want to know. Pen drive getting dropped. Code drop rope. Code rope. This is not rope. Okay. Data leak, file drop, code drop, memory leak.
Right drop.
Okay.
I think memory leak is the right answer.
Yeah, Praveen. But data leak is also near around same only. Management, if you have budget of 2 chocolates, please give to both the guys, no? Both the guys, yeah. Okay, we can give this data leaking and that memory leakage. But do we have any term, data leakage?
Yeah, DLP, data leakage prevention.
In CACD? Okay, fine. I'll go with my words only. Sri, right? Let's clap for Sri and Praveen. You are not that right. Okay, it's good. At least one Ford employee answered it. Seeing the Ford logo. Okay, Pashupati next. Okay, this one. I think it is the easy one, right? Very easy, yeah? Okay. State management. So the first one, that girl is the state and they are managing, is it? Or how it is? Okay. Wire mock. Okay, so that girl is thin, that's why you related to wire and mocking, is it? How it is? Style fix. Okay. So she is fixing the style. Oh, these guys are fixing the style. That is my issue. Use effect. Okay, I don't know which kind of effect, but nice try. Polymorphism. How it is polymorphism? Okay, anybody is typing no, right? Props drilling is the correct answer. Okay, let's clap for the person who is props drilling here. Anonymous. Okay. How I know who is anonymous? You guys blame each other, but how come I know who is anonymous? Sudha, you are Isaki, right? Okay, so anyone typed props drilling? Yogesh took the advantage of the situation and made smartly. Huge round of applause for this guy. So you will go longer in your life. Who is that guy? So give the chocolate. What is that? Yogesh, right? Yogesh. Hey man, all the best. Okay, next question. I think last one, right? Pashupati, let's do it first. Or is it done? Okay. So I expect guys to win this. Okay, please. I personally put this slide.
Yeah, he likes Rashmi.
She's nation crush, right? I'm part of the nation. I'm nationalist, right? Come on, guys. Let's focus the second and third as well, along with the first image.
Nothing related to food.
Regular expression. Okay. Guys, those are special expressions, right? These are regular expressions. Okay. Stack tools. Okay, but not all three are not related, right? I'm excited to see what these guys are typing. React Developer Toolkit. Redux Toolkit. React Dev Tools. Okay. So, guys, all three are related. Who is the winner then? Okay, React Developer Tools we wanted, but okay. React Dev Tools. Okay, React DevTools, Ayush Bhargav. Let's clap for him. Okay, guys. Thank you for showing an active participation. And I think 3 for chocolates are saved, right? Okay. We'll keep it for the next meetup. Okay. Thank you, everyone. With this, let's hand over to our wonderful host. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you Santosh and Saifullah. I hope you all had a good fun session with the quiz part. And now let's gear up for our actual first session. And it's about how modern CSS is transforming responsive design. Just thinking about going beyond breakpoints. And shall I invite Sudha Damodaran from Talentship with 12 plus years of full stack experience, working as manager and product lead. Over to you, Sudha.
Guys, let's give a huge round of applause for her.
She has to join.
Yeah, she can join.
Battery is out.
Turn it on.
It's good now, right? Okay. So, how many of you heard about this Beyond Breakpoints in Chennai Web Engineering poster and had some thoughts like, okay, she'll be taking this concept, or maybe at the end of the session, this will be the takeaway. Anything like that? No. Okay, you're not gonna answer. Okay, I'd like to know the crowd. Who are all into front-end engineering? I think from the breakpoint concept, everyone would have understood that this is something like into front-end concept, right? So who is into actively front-end engineering? Okay, decent crowd, I guess. Okay, so I'm a full stack developer. I'm currently working as a technical project manager in Talentship. So here in this session, we are gonna jump into a topic called Beyond Breakpoints. So anyone is aware of the keyword breakpoints? What do you think the breakpoint means? Come on, I know that you are senior engineers who will understand the concept named breakpoints.
It allows you to showcase the content based on what the screens are.
Great. Okay. So we all develop responsive design, right? So to create responsive design, we keep the breakpoint as a conditional break from that. So how we differentiate to a desktop device, to the tablet, and to the mobile screen devices. So that cutout is called a breakpoint. So in this session, we are gonna go beyond breakpoints. What is that? We are not gonna depend upon screen sizes. Now, in our latest development, we are creating the responsive design. But what does mean the ideology behind the responsive design is that we all thinking that we create a design that is adaptable in all devices. That is responsive. Okay? Right? Am I right? But no, it's wrong. Actually, that is not responsive. Responsive is that it should be adaptive to all different modes of screen sizes, irrespective of whether it's a screen device or the browser width or the mobile screen that we use. So in our session, what I'm gonna cover is that I'm not gonna help you guide into write perfect CSS styling code, or I'm not gonna teach you how perfectly we should write perfect web layout, beautiful layout. Okay, but I'm just gonna change our thought process where how we look at the UX design. When our UX designer give a Figma design to us, how we should look through it. Once we saw the UX design, how our change or thought process should be. We can even pinpoint what the problems of the UX designer is not handling it out. Sometimes the UX designer develop 3 different layouts, but it's not actually work out at all. Our developer has to give inputs, work with a UX designer to get a better layout, and that is what we are gonna achieve it, because this will drive us into getting a device thought process, device mode thought process into component thinking, which is an adaptive design. That's we are gonna cover here. Okay, so as we spoke about responsive devices, what do you think this layout is gonna be? It's very open. It's a fixed width, right? The component inside the main content area and the different card design is not changing. It occupies a more much spaces around it, and it's not gonna change at all, right? And what this, I don't think we are actually working on any fixed width now, but still few clients still wants a fixed width. That is why I have represented this. This is not a bad design, it's just the user not expecting us to support different screen sizes. That's it. But I hope we are not going to achieve that. If you are a new developer and learning something, and if you are a senior engineer and or a senior manager, senior managers who are just doing the front end architect, I don't think we'll go for the front end with a fixed width, right? Okay, I'm going to jump into a next layout. This is a responsive one, right? But just note that in the responsive design, it just shrinks and grows gracefully just to adapt the adjacent layout, right? It's sure we can write media queries to support into the different viewport sizes, which is called a breakpoint, and that we could achieve with this, right? And this is one from the Apple side, and I'm just going to point out how they have designed it. Okay? If you see here, see this laptop, okay? Just to find the changeover, you could just see the full layout, but just to pinpoint, just see the laptop, how it changes now. You see, the embossed image, the very one with the closer look, changed into deeper look. What do you think they have achieved here? Still responsive, I believe, because you could see, I could still see the whole content here. And if I scroll through, see this mobile image, this gets into a deeper, closer look. right? Do you think they have changed the image? Anyone? Sorry?
They scaled it.
Yeah, scaled it, correct. So this is a fluidity design that they have adapted, which depends upon BH and BW units that we use, right, to achieve this fluidity. Nothing more they have done. This is simply a responsive design, but they have adapted fluidity because that's what they want. The client, the end user, us, just want to look at the product, right? Even if the web layout changes now, we would like to buy this iPhone, right? Sure, few of our crowd here might have iPhone because just by the way of look it has and presentable look when you carry it around, we like it, right? So that's what this made this Apple design looks perfect. Okay, but what we are going to create at the end of the session, what we are going to take away is this: we are going to create a perfect design that looks like something like this. You see this? There is a 3-column layout that changed into a single column layout but with a detailed view. Okay, so based on the space, it just adapts to a much detailed view. Correct? Let's say if you go to a news related site, something like New York Times or something like Dinatandi. If you go, what do you see? You just highlight a product card or a news card, and then the main title goes and the subtext goes, right? And sometimes we take it in the mobile, and that time I want a single column layout, right, with a detailed design. But when I go to the desktop view, I want a 3-column layout, right? Even if your UX designer have to provide these, only if they provide it, we will think of that scenario. But as a developer or a senior engineer, if your UX designer is not going to design something like that when the client expects us, to adapt to a different devices, we should actually request them to do so. Because this 3-column layout with a single column layout, which is called a sparse or a condensed layer, is a major and adaptive design that we are going to look for. And how we are going to land there. I know we have all the basics in place, but still we have to adapt few different tweaks to understand this and get into this point. So coming to our topic, I haven't gone through the slides yet, but I'm going to jump there. Now we saw about different type of layouts: fixed, responsive, fluidity, and the adaptive, which we are going to be our takeaway today. So in order to achieve a responsive design, so adaptive is also responsive design, right? Just the way or way of implementing it is gonna change. So what is our go-to option when we develop a responsive design? We go for Flex, CSS grid, right? Pixel grid, and I'm not a fan of that, so I'm sure most of you is not. So next, simple. Few report-based clients still go for table layout, right? We can't achieve more there. It can't be more responsive, and it can't be much supported in the mobile devices. It cannot have to be changed to a portrait mode to support that if it's for complete daily view format, right? And then sometimes we depend upon different frameworks. Let's say I have just pointed out only 2 here, which is Bootstrap, Tailwind CSS, because we go into an existing application and they might use a Tailwind CSS, and we are going to jump into that, right? This is a framework that's going to help us to get into a responsive design. But we could just still gonna add on some extension kind of concept that we are going to learn today. Okay, so to give you into the adaptive design, I understand only few raised hand as active frontend engineers. So for the juniors, I'm just gonna jump into a little bit about the FlexPoints. So I'm not gonna explain go into detailing about what all the flex properties gonna do, because there are all mediums you can support that. Okay, so first one-dimensional. So assume that this is a sample demo that we are going to work for today. So there is a div class component, which class name container, and there are 4 different items, item 1 to item 4. So there is a parent and a child component. I'm just going to take this a very simple example, and we are going to look through it. Anyone know is aware why Flexbox is called one-dimensional? Even I wasn't aware whether it's 1D or 2D. I just know Flexbox and CSS grid, but never understood the concept in a dimensional way, right? Okay. So let's assume we are going to learn Flexbox now in a very simple way. What Flexbox can give us. Okay, not we are not going to learn end to end of what Flexbox does, but overall the gist of what Flexbox can support and for the overall layout, web layout. So let's say this is a rough CSS of what I have written to achieve this. Okay, it just stacked up into one, item 1, item 2, item 3 and item 4 with a dotted layout of class container. So we have two different classes. First, in this previous slide we saw class container and the class item. So with that, I have written this simple rough CSS. Okay? Now it's stacked up. Okay? So now with using the Flexbox, what if I want to do this a single row? This is all the 4 different rows, right? What if I want to do the single row? What will be the Flexbox CSS property that we depend upon? Flex direction. Good, right? The first thing, I start using the flex layout. First thing we will type
display flex.
Display flex, right? So this will give us something like this, right? Okay. And as a front end developer, what we say, okay, we need some gaps and we fill it up. Right? And we achieve this design. Okay. So now I switch to a mobile view. What will do? I want it again to be stacked up one by one. Right? Then what will be the next go-to option? Let's start. Good. Direction. Correct. The first answer. We change the direction to come into it. So in order to achieve the flex direction in the different devices, we write media query. Right? We'll cover that later. So we have achieved this. So simply with the rough CSS properties that we have written, we have just used 3 different flex properties, which is flex direction, flex wrap and display flex. We have just attached 3 different things to achieve a proper layout or differentiation in the layers between the devices, right? This is the one other concept that is in the Flexbox. It's very important to achieve a responsive design. Hope you might know. I'm just going to play it again. Just note that how a properly 4-column layout just changes into a single column layout. See there, it's changed from 4 to 3 and then to 2 and then to 1, right? But when it changed to 3 different items, the one item, the last item, switched to the next line. But is it a good design? Because the user usually have the same content in all the items, right? Let's say if it's an Amazon site, item, what will be the inside the item? Products, right? It will be the same products. As a user, do you think we will give the user something like 3 products at the top and only 1 product at the top? No. We give only all products at the same layer in the desktop view and switch to 2 products, right? But Flexbox can only give you this. It can give you only if you use Flexbox. It doesn't depend upon CSS grid or any other properties. If you don't depend upon, Flexbox can only give you this. So there is a 4 charts that would be accommodated. Then if there is a 5th chart that would be accommodated, then it comes down. So only when you depend upon rows or columns, we go for the Flexbox design. And that is the reason we call this as a one-dimensional. Okay, 2-dimensional. Of course, if we cover Flexbox, the next thing would be the CSS grid, right? So that is 2-dimensional. Even if you see here, there is a space here. This is what we talked about. Because it has space, but it still will not occupy it. Because Flexbox can do rows or columns. We can't specify something like auto-fit content into this display flex. And here, we could achieve the same different layouts into a different one, but this is much better, right? That's what CSS grid can do. Okay. So now, in order to achieve in the CSS grid 4-column layout into a 2 and then to the 1, we don't need 3-column layout in between, right? So let's say how we can achieve that. We all know that few of you front-end engineers might know that we can achieve that through grid template columns. We specify the number of columns it can switch to, but I haven't written media query here. Of course, based on the device viewport size, we write these CSS properties inside the media query. so that we could adapt to 3 column layout. Here in the repeat auto fit we have given, in that we can specify a parameter with number values 3, 2, something like that, to specify how much columns it has to shift for the specific viewport size. Okay, so for the new developers who are not senior engineers, who might not know, okay, you explained me about one-dimensional and two-dimensional flexbox versus CSS grid. But still, when the UX designer gives me the design, I am not able to understand whether it's a one-dimensional model, two-dimensional model. Sometimes we have that issue, right? So for that, what you have to do is a wrap test. Wrap test is nothing but we have to compare and see if you have developed a design and how the user expects into viewing the different lower devices, into the tablet, mobile devices, how you want the product to be wrapped. That's it. Then we will know, we will get the answer, right? So when how it is to be wrapped, rows or columns and rows and columns. Based on that, we can go for flexbox and CSS grid, right? Okay. So now here I have given examples of rows or columns and rows and columns. Both differentiation I have given here. So now, based on this design, if you really want the combination of both, can I depend upon flexbox and CSS grid? Or we usually do that or not? We stick with flexbox or only CSS grid? I'm sure most of you might have used the combination of both, correct? We don't depend upon any one thing actually. It's a powerful combination. When we use both, only then we could achieve a proper responsive design, right? Okay. And for freshers who are just listening to this, I'm just going to give you the overall button wise or element wise idea on which one can depend upon what. Okay, so page layout, dashboards and image galleries. We depend upon two-dimensional, right? Image galleries, all we know is, if it's image gallery, we go for CSS grid, right? Because it can wrap around to the next line and the images can be embossed and can be go into a deeper view if it's required, right? And of course, the same way we should go for the page layout as well. When we design a web layout, if you want to just give a set layout or something like the sidebar goes at the left, the navigation menu goes to the top, and the main content area goes to the center, then we go for CSS grid. And when it is something like a button group or something like a card, something inside a top navigation bar, inside what you are going to do, how do you flex that, right? Something like if you have 5 different menus and this goes to a hamburger icon, when it goes to the mobile icon, we do that design in most of the pages, right? For those, we could just go to the flexbox. As I mentioned earlier, this is a powerful combination. So I have already explained this. This is a macro layout, which is the main page structure. We could go for the flexbox, and inside a specific image galleries and something like that, we can go for the CSS grid. Okay, of course, flexbox, CSS grid we have covered, and then we are going to jump into media query. So media query is something like we support desktop, tablets and the mobile devices, right? So at some specific breakpoints, we write, let's say if it's a desktop, for some 1024 pixel, we write, this is what should happen. This should change to a 2-column layout. This should, in mobile, something like 767, we should change to 1-column layout. This is how we write the media query, right? So I have some examples for the beginners. So we use the keyword at media and write the minimum width or the maximum width, and we can write both as well, and just write if the container, here is the one I have showed you, grid template columns, I have specified 3, which is 3 equal columns it will split. What if there is 5? First row it will be 3 and the second row it will be 2, because that's the best design. Again, here I have written for desktop and here it's for tablet design. This is an example that covers the media query. I'm not going to jump into detail, just the thought process. So okay. So I have created media queries for 3 different devices. Let's say one desktop, 1024 pixel, and the tablet 768 to the maximum, and to the below devices, which is the mobile. I have written. But there are pitfalls for the media queries. Let's say we are a team of 5 people, okay? I write something like content for a main content area. We use reusable components, right? Day by day we are evolving, we are writing micro frontends, reusable components. So what is reusable component? I write a component, I reuse it in different places, right? Let's say I have a product card, there is an image, title and the subtext, right? So I create this component, card component alone, and I reuse it in the main content area, and I reuse it in the sidebar content area. Let's say today as a developer 1, I create this reusable component and use it in the main content area. In the next sprint, another developer comes and will write and reuse this content area in the sidebar component. Simply. And what he will write? Something like a CSS. Let's say this is a different page. Okay? He will write some CSS, make sure that it adapts. But it breaks the main component. Right? And it will be created as a bug from the QA, and we will give a temporary fix in the main content area and the sidebar links. Right?
Thank you.
I'm sure for a particular feature there will be 5 to 6 different bugs just because the cramped and broken issue is there. We still would have faced it, right? Or something like when you show a demo to a client, something works in my local environment, but it's not working it out in the client environment because he has a different device. Because we support US clients, European clients, but here our desktop is completely a very normal one, normal FD, they have 50 monitors, but there they have a bigger one and multiple screens as well, and it will not work at all. So that is a multi-context problem. So same component I have reused and it's cramped because I just wrote media query. What do you think? Why it's cramped? We wrote media query, we specified the minimum and the maximum width. Then why it didn't work in the sidebar component? Because we wrote for the devices, which is a browser width. Here, let's assume this is a desktop and this is the main content area and the sidebar content area. Okay, so here I'm still in the desktop. Whether the media query I wrote for tablet and mobile work, no, right? So what I have to write for the sidebar? The sidebar, the card component depends upon the sidebar's width, right? And here the card component depends upon the main content width. So we have to write some CSS properties to solve this multi-context problem. Okay, so I have just given you two more pitfalls. So device size deception. Like I said, we might have faced that I use a particular mobile and I have tested in all the devices and it works perfectly well in my local environment, but it does not work to the end user because he uses a multi-screen model or something like a mobile device and he has reduced or zoomed or a browser extension. But he will raise a bug something like, this looks expandable, this dashboard doesn't look perfect at all, right? So the device size, we have written the device, but still it gives us a deception that it might not work at all, right? This is the one I spoke about, the reusability. So this again, I have explained this. So something like, I want image to be displayed like this, but then sometimes when cramped, something like goes behind and down and everything goes. This is also the same example. Okay. So coming to how to solve these 3 different pitfalls. These are 3 different simple examples. By day to day, we write temporary fixes, something like give a padding, give a margin, just move left, just move right? Just give temporary fixes. But after 3 months, you will be fixing in the same component again. But what we can cover it. So we should not depend upon, like I said, we should not depend upon screen sizes to make an adaptive layout. And we should depend upon the width of the parent container. Like I said, a product card has to identify the size of the main content area to make sure how I should align. How I'm a product card and how I should align. I should align based on my parent, right? That's how we should design it. Okay. So the solution would be the container queries. Have any of you used container queries? Great. Good to know. You have used? Great. Do you think you have faced the same issue, the context problem? Still you face it in the container queries as well? No. Okay. Yeah, of course we don't write perfect code, and of course we make some issues, and I have covered 2 different issues as well. Okay, so here let's say this child wrapper is nothing but let's say assume you are a parent. So in order to, who are new to container queries, we need just three properties to learn the container queries better, which is the container name and the container type and the how we should write the narrow layout stuff here and the wide layout stuff here, and okay, and the keyword at container. How you write the media query? What you will write at media? You will write the what size we have to depend upon, and then the CSS properties goes here, right? That's it. Same here what I have written. So let's say for the sidebar content and the main bar content. So if it's a main bar content, you write at container minimum width. You will write the main content area width, and again you will write at container maximum width. Let's say something like a sidebar, and then you will write the same stuff here. Same I have written here, something like a narrow layout and a wide layout. This narrow and the wide layout, if you have a confusion, this is what we are achieving here. Sparse and the contents layout. Okay? So 3-column layout is wanted to be switched into a detailed view, and when you are in a smaller design, you change into a single column layout. Okay, and the units. As usual as media queries, it also supports pixels, rems, yums, and everything. It has all the support you need. In the here example, I have used rem because I have changed the font here in the next demo that I am going to show. So we use font size, rem is the go-to option, right? So I have used rem, so that is the one example I have shown here. Sparse and the contents layout, which we have covered. And the desktop tools. Container queries have CSS, have a route of something like CSS container queries, where you can go and explore your container queries that you have written and just explore how it's acting. Right? We just go to DevTools and we just check and identify how the concepts works. You can do that there. And I'm not going to suggest that. I'm not suggesting that we should not write the media query. I'm suggesting that we have to write the media query to support the different devices, but also adapt the container query to support different complex problems. We should write our layout device oriented or component oriented. That's it. So you have to identify from your client or from the UX designer whether your layout is component oriented or device oriented. What is your go-to focus? Based on that, you can adapt container query or not. Okay, regard to the browsers, it doesn't support older browsers, but it supports all the current browsers in place. Before, the container query was not adapted. I think from early 2023, it supports all the modern browsers. So this is the one example I showed you. So kind of something like a layout changes, right? There is a design, title, subtext, and it changes the detail and manner. So here there is a main content area with the product card, and the same card in the sidebar I have written. So this is perfect. I have not written container query at all here. I have just written the flexbox CSS grid to achieve that, and I have written media query, of course. So in the media query, everything looks perfect. But when I go to a split screen mode, right, or when I change my browser option to 100% to 150%, it breaks, it gets cramped. With media query, it gets cramped. And with container query, we can achieve a different layout, but still make it better, right? Okay, this is one example of how the difference of media query and container query goes. Same, we are writing at media, minimum width and maximum width, and there we can specify the parent size. As I said, we are not going to stop writing media query. So where we should write media query? When the desktop view and the tablet view changes. But when we are going to write container query, this particular component alone, how it should react based on the parent width. That is how we should go for the container query. These are the difference that we are going to learn today. Adaptive method. This is just responsive and goes to the different viewport sizes. But that is an adaptive mechanism. It works all. It doesn't lead you to go to multiple bug fixes. Okay, so here I have used all those three properties, which is at container and container name and container type. Container name is optional, but I prefer you to go with the container name. I explain you why. Okay. So here there is a product card and there is a product card body. Okay. So there's a product card is the parent So for the parent, what we will do? We will write the container name. So to figure out the identification, what card, what container I'm going to write my CSS properties into, and the container type, inline size. So okay, why inline size? There are three more options as well, better options, but still inline size will solve all your problems for general layouts, general problems. Unless it's a very complex layout and you have understood all the container queries in a better way, you can go for the different container types. And here at container, so I have created a container name which is product info card. I have to use that name here at container so that I will know that this product info card applies to only those. And write my usual CSS properties, nothing more. Okay, so when you have a bug fix, you can just still have the bug fix given solution with the container queries. You are not going to import anything, you are not going to change the overall architecture itself. Okay, so here I have created one issue, which is I have created a container, maximum width I have specified. Here I have changed the font size, which is the big. I have changed the font size of it to freedom, but it's not working. And why? Because if you see here, I have specified the width as fit content. So what it will do is, all the content, whatever it will be visible, it will get fit. But actual div element, whatever the wrapper I have written, it's just very less, 35 pixel, and it gets broken, right? Why do you think it's broken? Like I'm a child, I depend upon my parent container, and my parent container says I'm a fit container. I don't have any parent. My parent doesn't have anything, something like a numberless. It's a numberless system, right? Fit content. It fits automatically decides. So when the child component queries the parent container, it gives the answer something like numberless. So it can't figure out how I should react. Here I have written 10 run, right? So it will give something like numberless, but here I have written number. So this will not work. So container, this is the problem. So container size depends upon the content. Again, that depends upon here, and no value will come out of this. And this infinite loop occurs, then there will be breakage. Okay. So now I have modified the same into given a width allowed to 200 pixel, and that it works perfectly fine. So the usages, as I have mentioned, so Flexbox, and we have used from the decade more for the even 10 plus years of experience, might have completely used it up. CSS grid for the image galleries, and the media queries when you adapt to the screen sizes, and the container queries if you are writing a web layout with component driven, more reusability option, and we are not sure what your end user is going to be. If it's a multiple end users, then just stick to container queries. It's also. If you are still confused, I am open to questions as well. Yes.
Just say, what would be your suggestion for which one should we use, or like any preferences?
No, that's what our goal, our takeaway is to not just stick to Flexbox, not just stick to CSS grid. Of course, we are all writing a responsive design. We should prefer powerful combination of both Flexbox and the CSS grid. We have to adapt to both to make a better responsive design. And of course, we write media query extra to support different screen sizes, and extra container queries also as well to support the parent container. It works on. We are not writing container queries for different devices, just to make sure that in whatever the mode the client opens, it works perfectly fine. You can write for different container sizes. You just try writing for a particular bug fix, and it will work better in the next way. It will not get impact in the next sprint.
So you said container queries are always only for modern browsers.
Yes.
So what if I want to support old browsers as well?
Container queries
Is
we
there a
cannot
way?
support.
Is there a way we can support it or any?
With container queries, no. But still you can write it, it will work for the modern browser, and for the older browser it will not just take those queries at all. That's it. The other things get applied and this will not get applied. Let's say I have written something for 200 pixel and it will work fine for the modern browser. In the older browser, that will not take effect. It will just break and broken in the older browser.
So one more question. The container queries can be used to change the structure as well, or just the content, for example, font size, image size?
Anything. Like however we write for the flexbox and CSS grid, container query also supports all different mode. It just you depend upon the parent container. That's it. You just need a wrapper, and for that wrapper you will write based on the wrapper size. I will just align to it.
Okay, so it can be considered as a superset of media queries?
No. It's both are different concept. You write media query to support desktop, mobile, and tablets, right? But as I'll go to a different example to show you better. Okay. So here we write media query. So there is no superset, something like that. Here I have written for something like, let's assume this is a desktop and this is a tablet mode, right? And this alone, for this product card alone, I am displaying the something like a, let's say this is an image, title and the subtext. Okay. But if if I am going to a mobile mode, I want this image to be a very smaller one, and title goes here and the subtext goes here. I change the layout of this particular card component alone, right?
Correct. You are changing it based on the device size alone.
No. Parent container. Whatever this is a child, right? This might have some div wrapper. So based on the size, if I reduce it, just assume there is no device at all, I just reduce my screen browser width. Okay, no screen size. It will not work. It will still half cramped sometimes if we don't write the media query.
Can you go back to the other slide where you are showing the same component on the
media
main content and the other one on the sidebar?
This one?
No. Yeah, this one. So here, what is the reason for the component to break? Maybe I used just media queries and it was not able to identify the parent container size. That's why it broke on the sidebar.
Yes.
If I have used container queries on both sides for that particular component, it would have worked perfectly.
Yes. Because this is the desktop view, like you said, for the others as well. This is a desktop view. There is no device query that works here. Because as a desktop, let's say I have written media query, I have not written media query. Here media query does not play any role, right? I just, whatever the query I wrote for this card component, it actually gets applied. When I reuse that exactly in the next state, the real problem is that in this sprint I create this component and I use it in the main content area. But tomorrow, the same component, let's say, comes a feature something like, please use the card there, make it a day, and just works it out. And what you will do, you just take that component and apply there. I'm sure you will go and check it whether it works or not. What you will do is you will give a temporary fix. Right? In the same CSS class what you have written, you will give a temporary fix to make it look perfect. I'm not saying it will not look at all. And there is no other solution than container query. No. Container query is the best go-to method when you want to fix this. Even without container query you can fix this, but it will be a temporary fix. Because that particular moment they will raise a bug. And particular moment in the sense particular breakpoint. Breakpoint here does not mean the screen sizes. The breakpoint where the browser with the QA raised bug or the client raised bug. Right? And that time it will not work. You will again give a bug fix. And after 3 months, another bug fix comes in the same component. So, best go-to option would be container query, which resolves all your problems. So, no other questions? Yes.
Yeah, maybe we can take the questions at the last part of the
For that very reason, we do have a networking lunch, right? Okay.
Okay, so this is our summarization. We have covered Flexbox, CSS grid, fluid design, and we jumped into media query and how the container queries plays a vital role in developing a better adaptive design, which we are gonna achieve. Okay, so it's not fixed into a fixed layout. Let's get some answers. So thank you. So this is my LinkedIn profile. If you wanna have any questions, you can jump pitch me in the business. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sudha, for such a knowledgeable presentation.
throughout the presentation, I could see some detailed examples being beginner friendly and connecting with real time scenarios. So I hope newly budding developers will also find this session really helpful. So kudos to that, Sudha. Thanks a lot. And now let's have some fun and fill the room with laughter sound. For that, I would request Ashok to conduct a quick quiz.
Hello everyone. Let's have another quick ice breaking session. So unlike previous session, this is going to be technical. So please scan this QR code. So there are going to be 10 multiple choice questions. For each question, you will be given 20 seconds to answer. So by the end of the quiz, by the end of the all 10 questions, we will show the leaderboard. Top 3 will get chocolates. Please join. Shall we start? Pasudi, let's start. Let's start. First question. Five more seconds. The correct answer is object. Let's move to the next question.
Okay, so this is the initial leaderboard, and at the end, the final one gonna come. But just to keep a track, we're gonna show after each question as well. Yeah.
This question is somewhat tricky. The answer is C. Yes, yeah. Let's move to the next question. So what will be the output of console log? Parse in 10.5 degrees. Five more seconds. The answer is 10. Next question. What will be the value of console log 5 greater than 4 greater than 3? Five more seconds. Answer is false. Next question. What is the output of console log? Type of 1. String. Next question, please. What will be the output of this function call? undefined then true. Next question, please. What happens if you return null from a functional component? Very simple question. Yeah. What happens if you attempt to access a property and a value undefined? Example, undefined dot some property. Next, what will be the output of this code? It's 10. The last question, which is CSS property controls the space within content and the border of the element?
The topic today, design token or something CSS, right? So I think majority gonna answer this. That's it.
Very easy question. Right.
Okay, guys.
Kamalesh.
Let's give a huge round of applause for Kamlesh, R, Praveen, and Yogesh. And we can give a small round of applause for Arun and Giridharan as well. Actually, the top three gonna take the chocolates. So Kamlesh, R, Praveen, and Yogesh Raj. Oh, okay. Let's give them chocolates now.
Yeah.
No worries. Next time. Okay. Thank you for the participation. Hope you guys enjoyed. With this, over to you, host.
Yeah, thank you, Ashok and Santosh for this quick quiz. And moving on to the last session of the day, and it's about how to make multi-level design system like this. So to present you on that, I'm calling upon Rishabh from Code Pro with 6 years of experience and primarily focusing on front-end, especially creating design systems. Over to you, Rishabh.
Yeah.
So guys, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Am I audible? Good. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm here to present on how to build multi-level design system libraries. Right. Just to crowd check over here. Who knows about design system library? Hands, raising hands. 1%, 2%, 3%. Okay. Who knows about material UI? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have it. So material UI is a design system library. So you have now know what design system library is like. You get the context about it. So once I start talking about it, you will get the context of like how to build a design system library, more of a how to build a multi-level design system library, and this would be more like when and what you should choose. So the whole concept of design system libraries could be applied over here. Okay, so moving forward to the next slide. Um, the thing which I did right now, like with Material UI, you got to know what design system libraries, but how it's broken down into different things over here. So and number one, if I go with what design system library is, it's a centralized hub for all your components you need. So think that uh, your own personal project or your organization, each and every team, if they start creating the same buttons, forms, XYZs, whatever you need, okay, and that development work is kind of like repeated multiple times. Okay, it's a number one. It would be a wastage of time for each and every developer who is working over there. It should be somewhere centralized where everyone is using it. Some team is building it up, and you just you don't spend the time developing those. You spend the time developing your web pages. So that's the need of the design system library over here. So that's why the centralized hub for the design system and your development resources. What does it include? It includes components. By components, the basic. If I would go with model component or button component or navigation or a hero component, whatever you see the page of. If you open like Razor Pay, the first image which you see, that's a hero component over there. So those are the like components which is present in the design system library, and you don't spend time and effort needed to develop those. Those are already there and use it. um, Patterns, as Sudha already explained, right? How you build with your layouts and what's in the CSS grid and other containers and everything. So those are also packed up in the patterns over here. You just use those components, and in that way, you have what you need. You don't have to develop those over there. Again, guidelines. So, for example, if you think for your organization, if each and every team starts building their own components, that doesn't cater to the organization's view of how to showcase the UI or the UX. Okay, so just imagine everyone has used Facebook or Instagram, right, over here, and think that each and every team in the Instagram team starts building their own button. It will start looking up different in every other page, right? And those minute differences makes difference, because that's the experience you get. Okay, when we are utilizing just taking the example again with Instagram. When you're utilizing Instagram, it should not feel differ of like when you're going from one page to other. Why does the button look a little bit shaded different color than the other button over here? So that's the experience which the organization thinks about. So that's why the guidelines comes into picture. Why design system? As I explained over here, consistency. You, any like any well-defined web page where you go, the user interactions and everything which you need over there comes with the consistency over there. Efficiency reduces the time of the developer over here. Like doesn't make sure that you don't spend thousands of hours. Like imagine hundreds, seen thousands of hours spent in developing your components. Okay, so that's efficiency over there. Scalability. It starts with let's say 10 components initially, grows to 100. Okay, so that's possible, and you keep it growing. It should not be like okay, this is the case. I'm done over here. It keeps on growing. Scalability is always possible over here. Then comes collaboration. Uh, with design and developer closer, and like if you think about distributed way of design system accommodating the design system library, each team would not be talking to the UX or the UI designers on a daily basis. We need a collaboration over there on a one-to-one basis where the UX and the UI that have talks every day. Make sure that the new changes which are coming up to the design system is applied to the components and shipped out in a new version, and you don't have to think about what's going on, right? It's just like, okay, tomorrow if your organization thinks that the button blue color should change to button red throughout throughout everywhere. You don't have to go each and every what's it file and project, think thousands of files, thousands of buttons you will write. Okay, for a massive project, you don't have to go each and every file. Just one change in one library makes everything goes away. Um, so that's what about why design system and what is design system over here. Um, for a whatever the life cycle, how does a design system library is created, right? It's at my experience, it's kind of like surrounding into three topics. Number one, design tokens. Design tokens are the foundational position where you need to have a consistency between what is in the Figma and what is in the code over there. So that's what drives that's the design tokens drives it. Next is obviously development. We need to develop it, otherwise how we will get it, right? In short. And then there is the most important one. I'm not even saying development is the most important one. Documentation is the most important one. Uh, Go to Material UI and see how well documented they are. Each example has the explanation and then the code to give you right, like the access right to the code directly over there without even you have to think about it, right? So and it makes your life easy, right? It's that's the effectiveness of the documentation, well documented design system which you have. So documentation is one of the major focus what you should do for your organization. Anything like it's not even just design system. I would say anything we are preparing or making sure that it's available for the whole organization should have a well documented a well documentation. Um, so now I would be breaking down what design token, how would you use it, then how would you develop it, and then how would you document it. Okay, so design. So what are design tokens? Anyone know about it? I assume no. Okay, so design tokens are the values. So who has used Figma over here? Okay, so you will see these CSS styles on the left hand side, right? So those CSS styles, you would see that dash dash typography dash font dash family, right? And then the family is coming over there, whatever the font family is coming. So those are the tokens which I'm talking about here. Those are derived, like the design tokens as a whole will be derived from that to a like whatever you can create. You can create a design token of like CSS dot CSS file, or you can create a JSON, or you could create anything like to make sure that you have a structured code of the design tokens. And once you apply it, it applies directly to the code and to your components, and it applies directly over there. The fundamental design elements over here are more of a color. You will get like um, uh, just do not worry about what the primary, secondary accent background those are. Okay, I will be explaining like just a little bit going forward. Um, so color you can derive into like multiple sections of it. Uh, Typography, as I said, like right now, it could be defined into like font families, sizes, your font sizes, font weights, and everything. So those are the classification which you are doing within your typography, so that it could be used effectively. Uh, Spacing, like you put margins, padding, gutter, whatever. Think everyone using padding on their own. I feel this needs 16 pixels. This needs 20 pixels. Okay. Uh, the development of the UI should not be derived from what you feel. It should be derived from what is exactly present in your Figma. And that's how we are defining over here. We are defining exactly what's it's pixel perfect completion of our components, and that's what drives the user experience over here. Again, coming to shadows, whatever you need over there, and others, whatever like such as border radius, animations, animation duration, or animations as well. Um, Benefits of design tokens. So think tomorrow again. You have to change your by centralized control. It's easy to update your tokens. So again, coming back to the color example of the button, I have to change even for my components. Like if you are defining the whole project structure, the button again could be used in any other components as well, right? It could be used in hero component or any model or card or whatever it is. I don't want to go and like update for each and every component, right? I will just I should be able to update one place, not even the button component. I'm saying I should be able to update in one place, which is outside the scope of the component, and then drive it over there. So how does this help you? Okay, so by and how does it help the multi-level what's a design system? We are not just talking about just one design system for one organization. What I'm talking about over here, tomorrow like five organization wants to utilize the same design system library, but wants to give their own tokens over there or own styles over there. Okay, how to enable them? This is how you enable them. You have one central place where every tokens are present. That's abstract of what you have in your components, and once you update the foundation over here, which is your tokens, that systematically gets applied to your theme, and the theme then applies to your components. So if you stretch it out, your design system library is not just, if you stretch it out and see, your design system library is not just like components and theme. It's component, theme, design tokens. You update one point of the design token, and everywhere in the theme it gets updated, because you don't want to update each and every file of the theme as well, right? That is also a tedious process. And again, you don't want to update each and every component over there wherever the color needs to be updated. So centralized control using the design token helps you cater faster needs. Consistency, obviously, like what is present in your Figma gets derived over here and gets shipped out. So that's how the consistency game plays. Maintainability, easy to maintain. As I explained, you don't want to update the whole theme with the color red everywhere. You just want to change one place which gets applied in the theme, right? And at last, accessibility. Your when the designers develop your component, they just don't think that okay, this looks good over here. There is a lot of process on the background, which what color should I choose to make sure that it in every background it works fine, so that the color contrast issue doesn't come up. Accessibility, if anyone is working with the Europe or any other countries, accessibility is at the top. If your web page is not accessible, uh, uh, sometimes you might be fined out. You might be fined, or there might be repercussions for that. So accessibility is a top check for design tokens over here. It makes sure that the colors and patterns are much more accessible over there. um, Common use of like how to create design tokens is obviously Figma, style dictionary. Some other examples are like Zero Height and Storybook, which helps you guide through it and more of a documentation pattern. Um, and this is what I was trying to say. Like, for example, if you see here, the color red, which I was talking about, let's say previously there was some other color of some other variation of red, and I wanted to change. the like 8080808 value to some other value, let's say green now. I don't have to come and change. I don't want to go and change the uh, every place where that hex value is being used. I would just change the value over here, and that gets applied to everywhere else. So this makes it easy to change and adapt your design tokens over here. Um, and if you see here, there is something called primitive and there is something called semantics, right? And how do you utilize both over here? My suggestion would be never use a primitive, never use the direct values at all. Use the semantic values. So, for example, uh, if I have to apply a disabled field color for your button, okay, I don't, and tomorrow if you want to change the value of that disable fill color, like let's say the button color fill color is blue, I want it tomorrow change to red. I don't want to change the like if you think if I use the primitive design token over here, I have to then go to the component and then update that value. That defeats the purpose of the abstractness over here. We want to make sure that the components are as far as the theme over here. So how do we do that? So that's when you implement the semantic design tokens over here, which where the primitive value is still being applied to the whatever the 1200 value of the color red is. Okay, and then that gets applied to the a semantic value. And tomorrow, if you want to change, let's say the color of the same danger subtle, I don't go each and every file and change this danger subtle. I'll just come and change over here and like let's say from 1200 to 1300. Okay, and it gets applied. We don't have to think about anything else over there. I would also show it in code, like how that applies and everything. Um, Coming to the development side of it, um, a common use, as I said, like Material Design, Bootstrap, or Tailwind CSS, you could use. And I would suggest like open source libraries for smaller organization who doesn't have the time to like create a proprietary library and then like use it. I would suggest to do that. And there are advantages and disadvantages of both open source libraries and proprietary libraries. I would come to that as well. For proprietary library, it's more of a developed in-house. Each organization would have their own design system library which you could use. GitHub has it. If you see GitHub's design system is, I think, something design library GitHub, and then Facebook obviously has it, and so does Instagram. And every other company would have their own proprietary library over there. Coming to consideration again, as I was saying, like open source library is much more easier to use, faster because they're the if you have to think about accessibility or other things, they have already taken care of it. But what the issue with those things is uh, uh, versus the proprietary libraries. If you have to give a something custom, you can't do that with the open source libraries because it's built. You have to again go there and contribute, and then once it's released, then you get it. So the development cycle over there is like a huge one, and you never know that the open source library owners would accept your PR or not. So then comes the proprietary libraries over here, right? Like you create in house, um, uh, making sure that everything is consistent to your organization, making sure that there is no differences in the what the company's objective is and the UX is. Implementation. Yep. Implementation over here is how you choose to implement it, like taking down in the sense of a theme provider or something like that, or applying a huge CSS like file which gets which applies to every component based on the like let's say if you're using button based on the you target the button and then apply the styles whatever it is. Both have advantages and disadvantages. um, uh, Here if you are thinking about performance and the SEO and other parts, downloading a huge CSS file would take a like let's say 1 to 2 seconds of your time, which again affects in your SEO scores. So other than that, if you are having a theme provider only downloads whatever the theme required for those button or card or whatever it is component in the UI, downloads that, and your UI is much more faster over there. So this is how you choose to develop. You can develop it again the with uh, you can develop with the one constant CSS file or a theme provider approach. Okay, design tokens again coming. Design token again is like attached or is related with the development itself. uh, we have to make sure that design tokens are getting updated whenever the design is updating it, and we have to make sure that the in our code it's getting updated and shipped out in a version manner. Uh, Creating an whenever you're creating any components, make sure that it's reusable even within your project itself. That drives more consistency between the let's say the atomic components and the organisms over there. And there is, for example, you are creating a hero component, right? And there would be a button inside it. I don't want to go and style the button over there for just hero component. I would have a button component which is a atomic. The styles are getting applied over there. If tomorrow the button updates, uh, it updates for every other organism or molecules in which the button is getting used. Um, and the last one over here, testing and validation, most important. Um, if you if you don't test it, and in particular visually test it, there would be discrepancies in every time your PR is getting updated and pushed. Okay, so make sure that you do a further thorough testing and validation. And if I come to the next slide, how you could do it with like the whole development cycle and how it works, right? The foundation and theme is again, as I said in the initial time, it's your if you abstract it completely and look from the top level, it's kind of like divided into three different parts: components, foundation, and inside foundation, if you see, then theme and design tokens over there. So it's divided into three parts over here. The foundation, where you keep on updating whatever the Figma team updates. Then comes the component, make sure that it's reusable uh, within your project, and make sure that it's usable by the users who are consuming it. Then the accessibility. Um, if you don't embed that in your development cycle, you will never think about accessibility at all. You have to make sure that the accessibility is part of your development cycle and make sure that it goes on in that manner. For documentation, you can use Storybook and Docuserers. Both are very easy to use and very easily available. Both are open source and very easy to use. Personally, I would suggest like Storybook. It gives you very interactive elements over there. Then comes the CI/CD, where it make sure that it's piped and pushed out, right? Testing, building, make sure that your code quality is at the top using SonarQube, Fossa, Snakes, or GitLab. You could use any of the tools to make sure that your code quality is always at the top. And at last, very small E2E. Write as much as possible, as complex as possible. Uh, in that way, you will have a very stable design system library, that would cater your that would actually help your developers or who are consuming it to use it and ship their web pages as fast as possible. Otherwise, they, like for example, they took a new version of your code. Uh, Imagine that there is no E2E testing at all. They took your code. Sorry, they took a new version of your package. They are using it, and they are saying that somehow the button now has instead of radius 4 doesn't have any radius now. That's because in the development cycle some other component needed that and that made sure that it happened, but now got applied to everywhere. So that's why you need the E2E testing, and it's one of the most important part of your development cycle. Um, Coming to the last of the three pillars, which is documentation. It's one of the most important thing because you're the creator, but you're not using it. You're creating for someone else to use it. So, how do you imagine that if some person is confused to how to use a simple button component, right? There needs to be very clear instructions and guidance on how to use those components. If so, as much as examples and as much as content in the code in the documentation, so that it helps in your UI. And at last, I will just uh, to take key points over here, make sure that you have as much as detailed documentation over here. And those helps in your accessibility and other parts because you are testing the components as well in your and the guidelines how to make the components accessible. Um, I have to rush it through coming to the architecture, and as we know how it is, right? Take a human body analogy, and now I'm talking about the multi-level design system library. How do you imagine it, right? There's a person A who has let's say skin color A. Then there is person B of red, okay, and then there is person B in who has a skin color B, which is blue. Then there is skin, and then there is the skeleton. So if you have to imagine, the skeleton is the component over here. The skin is what you put on top of it. The skin could be blue color, black color, navy blue, whatever you choose to. Okay, and if you keep the skeleton abstract of anywhere else, like any skin color, you can apply anything over there. Same goes over here with the library as well. Like the design token for company A would be a separate one, and company B would be a separate one. Company A might have light theme, company B might have light and dark theme. The theme there is again separate over here. So you apply the company A theme, company B theme. Imagine that you have light and dark theme, right? So instead of that, imagine company A and company B over there, and then you apply those company A and company B and company C theme. You can have as much as theme you want, and to the components uses those theme to apply it, and then you can use the CI/CD pipeline to ship it out. I would just show a small demo of how it applies over here. So if you see here, it's a simple slot component over here where you are applying the title, placeholder, and the hello as a some text over here. So you have to come here. Yeah. This is another variation of how you can document it. Storybook is one of the library which you could use it, and it's pretty much easy to use. So if I would imagine that the light theme and dark theme is like two different company themes over here. You're applying those themes as per how it needs. You can then, if I have to change tomorrow the color of the what's it the slot text over there, I would just come here, see like how the theme is getting applied. It's separated out. It's making sure that it's abstract of both of them over here. And as we see here, we have like slot, dark and light styles over here. If you come here again, uh, I would have to change this value. I'm saying I would not support this as well because this doesn't follow the. I've created very fast. This doesn't follow the design tokens over here. This would again have design tokens. If you see the font style heading over here, if I have to change tomorrow the heading for every other place, I just come here and change sans serif. There's no need of enter right now. So every other place the of the heading would get applied to this, and tomorrow and I will ship it out, and just with a refresh, everywhere the sans serif will be applied, not the enter. So this is how the a small example of how tokens is getting applied to your themes, and then it's applied to your components over here. Um, I would now leave to questions. Any questions? Yeah.
When the UX designers give their specification, right, they will still give the HTML hex code, right? And it is up to the development team to define the thematic tokens and
Mhm.
use them in our team.
So Figma, if you're developing using Figma, Figma has tools to convert those tokens or those hex values into tokens and ship it off. There are multiple tools inside or plugins which you can find. It makes designers' life easy. It makes developers' life easy. So I think you were asking about that question. So how
Yes.
we construct that design token over there.
Yes, how is the mapping?
Yeah, how the mapping is happening. So mapping is happening automatically. Neither the designer thinks about it nor the developer thinks about it. Designer just clicks on a button which would construct the whole token which is present into a JSON, and it's then the JSON is just shipped to us by the designer, and
Okay.
we
So
can.
the generated file will have the semantic token. So
Yeah.
development team uses that.
Yeah.
But how will we do the testing? Right? At least during the testing,
Mhm.
we need the hard coded or the exact hex code. Right?
Mhm. Tokens will have those hex codes. So if you go, if I show my value here, this is how you would get the tokens over here. Okay. So for example, for the colors itself, oh, I don't know that. Yeah. So these are the this is one of the example how you could like have the like hex code or the values which you want. Radius, they would create a they would generate the radius whatever they need, and they would generate the JSON on top of it. And for us, it's how you use it, right? So you'll just construct this object over here with radius with whatever the values they have given to us, and then you use it over there. For example, for me to use it, I would just say radius of 0x. Tomorrow, if the designer changes the 0x to let's say one right now 0px to 1px, I just have to come here and update, and everywhere else it is getting applied.
Yes, you will update here.
Yeah.
You also have to update your test code, right?
No, I don't have to. Because oh yeah, text code needs application update. So if you're following the test, yes, definitely. Like for example, the snapshots. If you take snapshots, the snapshots will start giving you errors, right? So if you have to update the snapshots and other parts because you know that the radius has changed now, and that's acceptable, and now you update it. So that updation is needed no matter what, so that tomorrow if someone else comes and changes this, which is not authorized, okay, you catch that in the test and make sure that it's working fine over there.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendation for visual testing? Any tool?
There is like Jenkins, Playwright. You could use anyone, both or Selenium. Personally, I would say Playwright. It's very easy and faster.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you all. You can all reach out to me on LinkedIn. There is the QR code if you want to scan. Oh, you have one? Okay, yeah, please.
So okay, I just want to follow up on this question.
Yeah.
From a testing standpoint, when your atomic components have multiple props, a button could have multiple variants, 5 9 seconds, and whatnot, right? So for every component, as if the props changes and UX designer updates, so how would you automate testing between UI and UX on the component level, on the properties that every component needs to support?
So that's a huge work, right? So for us, like how I would simplify it, I would suggest with visual tests. That because if you keep on updating your test files, it will keep on growing because the design never stops, right? Visually, if you could make sure that you see the difference and which is like now new, okay, and or the updated one, you update this snapshot over there and make sure that it's always there.
Yeah, I meant about the integrity of the component. So
Okay.
if the designer introduces a new property for a
Mm-hmm.
component,
Mm-hmm.
so that property needs to be supported in the UI as well.
Yeah.
Right. So to ensure consistency between UI and UX, how
Mm-hmm.
would you automate the testing?
Okay, that also needs validation by the designers itself. So otherwise, like we obviously will, whenever you are coding it, you will make sure that you QA on your own. That needs one level. Another like QA by your designer. I would say there is no way. I would say I have not found anything common between Figma testing and your would say your code right now. I'm not aware of it if there is. Uh, but you could like ask your designers to do one round of QA, make sure that they find out whatever the issues are present over there in the component, or what has been designed in the Figma is translating to your code and your UI. So UX is actually your UI over there.
Yeah, so the source of truth for the UI
Mm.
developers for every atomic component is
Yeah.
going to be the
Figma. Yeah.
right? So but the UI developers are going to import the package, and they are not if they don't find the props supported, right? So they might find that gap because
Okay, that's where the documentation comes into picture, right? So you have to be well documented over there to make sure that let's say the uh, so designers might write hover effect over there, but we can't give hover effect, right? It should be inbuilt in the let's say component itself, and or designers might say like on color, but for developers we might understand that as a tertiary. Right. So those translations has to be well documented that somewhere, and that's why when I said like the documentation is much more important, or in the three pillars, documentation is the most important part over there. So it whatever has been translated in the Figma is well documented in your like whatever you use, DocuSeries or Storybook, and whenever a developer needs, let's say tomorrow, I don't know what does the component support tertiary or on color or the button tertiary or on color prop, right? I would just go to the documentation and check that out. That's what I would do over there. You can automate those process, and right now with AI coming into picture, you can do a lot of things. I would suggest like to see how you could do over there, like using AI and other parts.
thank you.
Yeah. Anything
Yeah,
else?
let's quickly wrap up this Q&A session. Yeah. So, guys, we are done with Q&A, right?
Right.
Okay, let's give a huge round of applause for him. Yeah. Thank you, Rishabh.
This is the
Thank you, Rishabh. This was such an insightful presentation. I could see your clearer explanations have added value to your presentation, and I'm confident that audience will also had an informative session on this. And let me just quickly run you through this QR code. Please feel free to scan these. The first one is meant to connect with the code family. Once you scan the first one, you will be provided with a link. as well as a start here button. So click on the start here button and you can provide your basic details. If you wanted to connect with the program, is the first one. And the next, following up the last two QR codes is meant for joining the LinkedIn profiles of Chennai Web Engineering Group and the SPS, for Business Solutions India.
So guys, second one is the official, we can say the LinkedIn page of our meetup group. So anything you wanna post, like you wanna host our meetups in your venue, in your offices, or you wanna be a part or as a speaker of our meetup groups, or anything, suggestions and topics. So feel free with the second QR code here, our official LinkedIn page. So with this, Pashupati, let's share the slide on for the feedback ones.
Yeah, here is the feedback form for you guys to present your side of feedback for our first presenter, Sudha, who has provided a session on how modern CSS is transforming responsive design, thinking beyond breakpoint.
So Sudha, how are you feeling?
Hope they get something inside.
I think they already got. Yeah. Let's go with the second one.
Yeah, the following slide would be for the feedback for Rishabh, presenting on creating multi-level design budget.
So whatever 4.3, I mean 0.3 gap is there, right? You guys can connect with the speakers during the networking lunch and make sure it's 5 on 5. Okay. Let's go with the next one. Okay, Rishabh, you also got your ratings. All the best. Very. Yeah. Should give me a treat tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to the next slide now. Okay. So guys, so whatever, I mean, the upcoming technologies or the tech stuff you want us to host to our meetup groups, so you guys can post the topics which you want. Let it be AI, ML, or some other technologies you want.
Yeah, any other questions you're looking forward to for the next meetup?
SEO, Webflow, AI, ML, WebAssembly, web development using AI, blockchain, hybrid mobile, web security, Bitcoin. Okay, is it booming it seems, huh? Okay, agentic AI, Gen AI, okay, MCP WebAssembly, web design, no code, okay, Web3 WebAssembly, Ethereum, okay, I need to check that. AML, can we dominate automotive displays over Android? Okay, and some web designing, Node.js, okay, Node.js is backend, okay, we'll try to upgrade ourselves. AI agents, Next.js, okay, Next.js we already did, we can more. Embedded systems, embedded systems, JavaScript also. Oh. In my time it was only C. Okay. Fine then. Next one. Okay, we'll stay with this one. Okay, this one the same like if you wanna host us in your venues or anything like you wanna be a speaker and all. So this is the same QR for our official LinkedIn page. Okay, we can skip that. I think everybody did. Okay.
And now, yes, with this, we're coming to the end of our session. I'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to all of you gathered here, spending your time, spending your valuable weekend time here, and your enthusiasm, participation, everything has added up to getting this event into a bigger event, a successful event. So thank you all for gathering here. And I'd also like to give a quick round of applause for both our presenters today, Sudha and Vishnu. Thank you guys. Kudos to you. Keep inspiring, keep learning. Thank you.
Guys, let's give a huge round of applause for our host as well, no? Gayatri.
Thank you. And a quick shout out for the organizers group also. Santosh, Ashok, everyone.
May you missed the veteran.
Okay, yeah, thank you, team. So before we are leaving, can we all get a group photo? Can we all gather here? Suppose so post our group photo session, we will be having a quick networking lunch at the second floor.
Okay, well, somewhere here. May, where do you want the photograph to be? Here or there? Front, okay.
People, please gather over here.
Anywhere, buddy. Whichever. Okay, guys. Let's not feel shy, no. Let's feel how it feels while standing there, no. Come. வாங்க அஜய். அதுதான். All good. Yeah. Can we go, madam, that side also? Yeah. We have a Guinness World Book record holder photographer with us. So. Just kidding. It's real. I heard. Just kidding. Link of World Book. Guys, we do have networking lunch post this at second floor next to choice. So please add a pinch of salt through your smile. No, okay. Let's not laugh, otherwise salt will be more. Just a pinch, yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Ask the volunteers to stay. Volunteers, right?
Volunteers, please stay here. The one will stay here. So second floor, there will be a counter named Choice Meals. There The networking lunch is ready for you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, stop. Yeah, calling, calling. Come, no, you are also invite only. Come, come. What is Rishabh? Okay. Thank you.